Hi, friends. The book I have is called The Foolish Tortoise. And we learned in one of our books the other day that tortoises don't go in the water because they have big legs, and so they're not made for swimming. Turtles go in the water, but tortoises stay on the land. So we're going to see why this tortoise is foolish. Foolish means not very smart. This is by Richard Buckley and Eric Carle. A tortoise, tired of being slow, impatient to get up and go, took off his large and heavy shell and left it lying where it fell. "Hooray!" he cried. "Now I've been freed. I'll see the world at double speed." So the tortoise took off his shell because he thought the shell was making him go too slow. Though faster he was not express, and his protection was far less. So when he heard a hornet's drone, the tortoise crept beneath a stone. A hungry bird came swooping past. He looked so fierce and flew so fast. The tortoise hid behind some trees and felt quite weak behind the knees. So he didn't have his shell and he was going faster, but now he was scared of things like the hornet and the bird to get him. "I don't feel safe, there's too much risk. If only I could be more brisk." He headed for the riverbed. A fish swam up. The tortoise fled. Means it ran away. Along his way our hero went and almost had an accident. A snake with open jaws slid near. The tortoise backed away in fear. The snake almost got him next. A hare, a hound, a hare is another word for a rabbit. A hound is another word for a dog. A horse raced by so rapidly they seemed to fly. The tortoise gasped, sat goggle-eyed. "I'll never be that quick," he sighed. He wandered on, the sun rose high. "I wish I had more shade," he cried. A sudden thunderstorm swept in and soaked the tortoise to the skin. So he was too hot in the sun, and the rain made him all wet. The wind rose up, and soon the breeze was bending branches in the trees. The tortoise shivered. "Now I'm cold. I wish I hadn't been so bold." So his shell was there to help him and keep him safe. "I think I've lost the urge to roam. I think it's time that I went home. Without my shell, I don't feel right." So when his shell came into sight, he found his shell. He climbed back in and said, "Good night." The end. So he wanted to be faster, but he found out that it wasn't worth being faster not to have protection from the rain and the wind and the sun and all those animals that were trying to eat him. He needed his shell to keep him safe. And so he went back to a shell where he was safe and sound.